When the game gets tough, the tough ones start to play at Armor Attack.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Armor Attack Italy. This is Angelo and today's video is going to be rather difficult for me because to explain the new economy is going to be a bit complicated because there are many things to consider and the interaction between the different sections of the game and stuff like that. So as you know, my videos are never short. I'm going to try to keep this one as short as possible, but it ain't gonna last just 15 minutes, that's for sure. One thing that I want to say about this video, the result of whatever I'm going to say in this video, it's also the result of, you know, having conversation with different people on Discord. Some of them also have their own YouTube channel about Armor Attack. Other ones don't, but they are very active on Discord, and you know, these are all people that have been around since early alpha, so they really know the game. There are going to be all the links down in the description of the video. Give it a go because you know they deserve your attention. Okay? In the beginning of the video, I'm going to talk about the cost of the game, and that means the upgrade of the character and the weapons and the modules. Okay, these are the things about which you're going to spend your resources. Then instead we are going to get into the other big chapter about this, and this is where do we get the resources to do all this. Okay, and so we are going to talk about the quest, about the exploration, about the store, about the free resources, about the crates, the daily and the metal crates, the combat crates, the leader's board, you know, and you know, it's going to be quite, you know, there's going to be a lot to say and to explain, because then there will be also considerations about what to use, what to upgrade, how to upgrade it, because I will tell you about the faction bonuses, and depending on what kind of mix you use, or like in this case you don't use any mix, the bonuses do change, and at that point the kind of modules that you want to put on your character could be different. Okay, we are going to get even into the thing if all the time is really necessary to max out a character, or if sometimes the last upgrades, okay, like in this case, this is the only one that gives something quite interesting. This one doesn't cost too much, but for example, these two, you see, very little firepower, and very, very little interval difference. But these two will cost you 110,000 silver and 150 of the epic tokens, which are very extremely hard to get. At that point, I'll spend my purple ones on this one. That is, yes, it is 100, and yes, it is 75, but it gives me 5% extra damage no matter what weapons I mount. And the rest, I can do it with the modules, which, yes, modules do have a cost, okay? But if I'll extract this one is 10,000 silver, and I put it on a different character. They say that for one reason, one day I'm not going to use the creeper anymore. I'll take these 3 modules and place them in the next one, and that's it. Okay, so we'll see even that not all the time you have to max out everything, for sure. You know, there are different options that you can use. Okay, so this is going to be how the video is going to be. Now, part 1, let's call it this way. Cost. The cost for upgrading. Okay, that's for upgrading robots and weapons. Okay, now the costs are, bing, there you go, and a little comparison even with the old economy. Okay, that was the silver that we needed to upgrade a character and the tokens, and nowadays this is the silver and these are the tokens. For the 3 weapons, because mediumly characters do have 3 weapons, a few have only 2, only the Shroud has 4, so mediumly is 3 weapons. This was the cost before. As you see, the cost in silver is slightly, a little bit less, but boy, tokens, that's a lot. So anyway, at the end, this was the old cost to max out a robot plus the 3 weapons, and this is nowadays cost. Okay, then since we're not going to have only 1 robot with 3 weapons, there is the part of the tokens. Now, for the robot, you need that much of green tokens and that much of silver, and token wise they count for the 60%, while the silver expense is lower. The blue one are going to be the 33%, and the purple one, the ones that you get once a time, they count only for the 7. And these are the numbers for the weapons. Okay, it takes less token, and that's quite nice. And as you see, the percentages are quite similar. Now, when it comes to having a maxed out preset, which means 6 slots. So it's 6 robots and 18 weapons. Okay, this is the cost in silver, and this is the cost in tokens, which will be 67,000 in green, 35 in blue, and oh boy, 6,702 in purple. Man, it's gonna take ages to get these. Anyway, and this was the situation in the old economy. These numbers by themselves are not right, wrong, bad, good. They're just numbers, because then it depends on how we're going to get the resources to get here. Okay, to get to this situation, what can we do, how long is gonna take, and stuff. Because this number by themselves, let's say if I could collect, let's put it this way, if I could collect 10,000 tokens a week, hey, you say in 10 weeks, in 3 months, I have a maxed out preset. Not bad, right? But if to collect this token is going to take me a year, then we have a problem. So these numbers by themselves are not positive or negatives, sorry. It depends if we do get the chances to collect the resources at a decent speed. About the cost, I want to show you one thing. This file is due because of the work of ARION SHAN. He is very active on Discord. In the description you will have the link to this file. When you open that link, for example, I downloaded the PDF, but there are even other extensions that you can download. And here, when it comes to the cost, characters and weapons, tokens and everything, he did really a nice job. Okay, you have each upgrade of common path, rare path, epic path, how much silvers, how much tokens, you know, everything, every single possible detail, plus the total cost on the side. Then you have the percentages. Really, he has done really a good job. This is really a good job. So give it a go, open the link, download the file, analyze it, because this is going to help you to invest your resources. Okay, and now we get into the where do we get the resources. Okay, so we do have the quest, okay, daily and weekly. Mine is empty, but it gets empty fast. And here we get a certain number of resources, free to play, premium, or prime, sorry. Then we have the operation, and this is the reason why it took me so long to do this video, because they just introduced 2 weeks ago the new version of the operation. Now what I've noticed, for example, is that the section for the prime users, there's no gold. The gold is gone. There are just some crates, and these crates don't really contain that much, I was much happier when he was giving me 150, 250, 300 goals instead of these. But here we go. The gold is gone. It seems that, though, that for Prime users, gold is... Prime users cannot get any gold anymore. All the gold that Prime users were getting is being heavily chopped. Not only here, in the daily quest, these two were of 100, and this part was not containing a stupid crate, but it was giving another 250 golds. And in the weekly, there were the two that were of 200, and those are still there. And then instead of this crate, this is just a, what is it? The expert crate. There was a 500 gold here, gone. Okay, here in this section, Prime users used to collect 53,000 silver a week, and now they get only 3,000. And in these, you get tokens and stuff and some silver, but not to cover for a loss of 50,000 silver and another 300 gold. Not even free-to-play players had a nice goal, because the 100 gold that they used to have here is gone. Okay, but this is for the quest. As for the operation, in the specification, in the specs of the new operation, has been written that some of this module should be already upgraded. It doesn't say if it's going to be a tier 2, 3 or 4 or whatever. So far I haven't found any in any of the opening sections. Okay, so far not even one. So we'll see, maybe they are here at the end. We'll see. Now, operation, as you know, they last 45 days. Then there is a 9 days pause, and then they start again. Now, a good thing that happened is that when you have to pick the characters, now it's easier, because you have 30, 20, and where is a 10? Give me a 10 and a 10. Alright? So it's much easier to get to the 100 to be sure to obtain even the optional reward. Okay? And therefore, especially in a situation like this, for a Prime player, we have 3 sections of openings running. Of course, that makes a difference. So, but keep in mind that either you are a Prime user, and in any case, this mission will end before you end this part. Okay, so it's absolutely not a problem. For the free-to-play players, which are going to have only 57 missions to last, to open, to finish, not 80, there is plenty of time to finish every single operation without doing any speed up. Okay, you don't need to do that. Don't waste your gold, since they're not giving us gold anymore. Damn it. Anyway, then Okay, let's do even this one. I don't like to do this, but let's do it. Now, currency is always, this is the deal. Forget about this one. You know, I don't even consider this section of the game, if you ask me. And what can I tell you about this one? You know, it's nonsense. If you ask me, it's nonsense. Okay, this one, but without the 2 epic token, is the combat crate that we can open for 36 gold. Okay? And it takes quite a bit to get to 250. Right? This one. 121 tokens, as you see. No epic. And this is the silver. And I should go here, spend 250 to have less token, less silver. Yes, I have the 2 epic tokens. Okay? But on the other side, I get all this, just not the epic tokens, for 36 gold. If I open it right away. Because if I wait a little bit, like this one, I click it, you know, almost 2 hours ago, it's down to 24. Oops. So, or if I have time to wait, because I start the opening when I'm sorry buddy, but not now. You know, for example, if I start open this one after my evening night game session, I'm gonna open it then in the morning for free. Now you tell me, why should I ever spend 250 gold to open it here in the store? For the 2 epic, forget about it. And the same goes for the rare, and big time it goes for the epic. I mean, this section is, I don't know, it's useless. I don't know if any of you has opened any of these. I don't know if you ever did. I'm sure I'm not going to. And I know of a lot of players that even if they will have like 1 million in gold up here, they will still not open these crates. So, but it's up to you and it's your choice. Now, daily offers. Okay, now these ones, just forget about it. For now, it's no. Now here it is a bit of now the thing is, today we have only the green ones. And I hope in the next days I will, because I'm going to shoot this video in more than one day. I hope there's going to be a different choice. I mean, different kinds of tokens, you know, green and blue. I still have to see the purple ones in this section, and I'm curious to see what kind of price they will get. And then we get, I'm gonna leave this one at the end, and then we have the leaders board, okay, where we do get these resources. They are not really much, but we get the medals, and the medals, we need them to open this one. And the thing is that this one has little gold, but even some epic tokens. And then of course we have the daily, and then we have the combats. When it comes to the combat crate, because this one you get them at the end of the battles, and you get that little 250 silver. Oh man, I'm gonna have to spend 500,000 silver to upgrade a robot with 3 weapons, and at the end of the battle you give me 250 silver coin. Oh, how generous. Man, it's hilarious. You know, I mean, in many ways, this economy does work. I mean, the system that they come up with could work very well, actually. With these numbers, I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, crates. Free-to-play players, 1 slot. Prime, 2 slots. Which even this is not enough. It should be at least 2. Sorry, at least 3. Because let me see if it gives me the price. Nope. Because for $12.99 and you got all the gold out of the quest, all the gold out of the operation, all the gold out of most of the gold out of here, and I have to give you 13 euros, while up to the upgrade 1.5.0 it was 10 euros, and I was getting all that gold, and yeah, then I was able to do my upgrades. And in fact, before, in the description of Armor Prime, it used to say, and this is a claim, this is a company claim, these ones here are company claim. They do have a value even legally, okay? And here the company claim was upgrades 5 times faster. Now it doesn't even say the double or 3 times. It doesn't say that anymore. And this, I don't think is that nice. But anyway, so depending on how many times you log in the game during the day, because nowadays you have to log more than once, at least just to open a few crates or 1 crate, especially for the free-to-play players. Let's say that I was playing, okay, forget about this one, and let's say that I have this one that is opening. I come back in 2 hours, get this one, and start opening this one. Okay, you will have to do things like this. If not, you will not open crates, and if you do not open crates, you're not going to have resources. Okay, it's going to be tricky. Okay, and here we are. Free resources. Okay, these are the numbers of what you are going to collect in 1 month. Now here you see average 7.5 cycles. I've done a specific video for the free resources. There's going to be the link in the description. Watch it and get all the specific information about whatever about the free resources. But let's go into what we collect. Now, 2,400 golds. Okay, keep in mind that these are free resources. Okay, now somebody could say, well, yeah, but this is not really much. And to a certain extent, I do agree. But on the other hand, if we go and look at what free-to-play players collect normally, this is zero here, because they used to get 100 golds, they don't get it anymore. And you don't collect any gold in the quest. The only time where the free-to-play players collect gold is during the operation, because they are in the free-to-play operation. There is always some gold here and there, while in the one for the Prime there is no gold anymore. There used to be quite a bit, there's not anymore. So basically, at this point, you know, the only way to get gold for the free-to-play players is actually the free resources, you know, and this one probably is about, it's around the amount that you will get by doing all the operations, all the missions. Silver as well, you know, it's not a crazy amount, but yeah, you can do some upgrades with this every month. Plus you get the one from the quest, then you get the ones from the missions, a little bit even in the calendar rewards. So it's not a bad amount, nothing exciting, but it's okay. When it comes to the token, you know, this one, the green one and the blue one, are for each faction. So 1,005 each, that makes it for 4,500 a month that you collect. And you know, and here is 1,350. You know, those are not bad amounts that you collect with the free resources. The one that I like the most is the one of the purple, because it's true, it's 1 month. But if you look at how slowly you collect the purple tokens, normally this is a nice push, okay? But this one is not each faction, is between factions, okay? And you know, sorry, and keep an eye on that. I mean, but this one is possibly the one, the part that is going to let you do more compared to the others, okay? Then another thing instead that we have to look into are the daily offers, okay? And understand if this cost in silver is fair, okay? There's no other way to put it. If this cost is fair. Now, let's go back to the Hangar, let's go back to the upgrade and upgrade, and now I took as a parameter the weapons, because basically you have 3 weapons on any character, beside the very few that have only 2, and the Shroud that has 4. For all the other characters is 3 weapons, okay? And now my idea was that going to the last upgrade, okay, which is the one that costs the most and demands the most of the token, the price of the daily offer didn't have to be higher than the cost in silver of the upgrade, okay? So here we have 1,000 for the last upgrade for a weapon and 15,000 silver coins. So one token will cost 15 silver coin. If we do that on the blue, the cost is 7.5. And if we go to purple, the cost is this one, the cost is 75. Sorry. And here the cost is 750. Okay? But if we go to look at the offers, you see that, and I have a lot of screenshot of this. The numbers are always the same. The proportion are always the same. On the green one, you are paying 8 for each, so that's really a good deal. Okay. When it comes to the blue one, you pay 80. Right, and we have just seen that it should have been 75. But keep in mind that this is like doing a speed up. Okay, if you want to speed up crates, you gotta spend gold. You want to speed up mission, you gotta spend gold. Here, you want to speed up tokens. You know, this is like you had where tokens crate, just specific tokens crate that you could open, and if you want to speed them up, you have to spend gold. This is about the same concept. So you want to get the blue one. They're not going to cost you 75. They're going to cost you 80. It's just a little increase, and I think it's quite okay. It's fair. You know, it's not that you have to spend 200 each. Instead of 75 is 80. It's not even the. It's a bit above the 5% increase, so you know it's quite. It's okay. And when it comes to the purple, instead of 750, it's 800. So the same idea. So even this one, it's a good deal. All right. When instead we go into this section, if you ask me, I don't even look at this part. I just ignore it. Okay, because we have to start to decide if those prices are fair or not. We have to start from the currency. Okay? Now, if we go to this one, 14,000 gold for 105 euros, of course, you go back to the daily offer and you will see that the price that you should pay, it is actually a good deal. Okay? But this is just working with the numbers. Now the problem is, it is fair that 14,000 gold, which, yeah, you will do stuff with this much of gold, but you're not going to, I don't know, upgrade 2 robots and its weapons at once. Okay? You're going to do some. And I have to give you 105 euros. You know, you give me the answer, because I'm not saying anything. I said already enough when I said that I don't even take in consideration this section of the daily offer. I just don't. Okay, then we have, they are the same, so either way you click it, it's always the same. So so these ones are fair prices. Too bad that the purple ones come in just every now and then. Okay, and it's like 1, 3, you know, and instead when the purple come out, you know, there should be at least 10, 20, you know. Not, I mean, going to how many tokens you need to upgrade a robot and its weapons, you know. And even here there is a specific video that I've done about the new upgrade system, where I give you all the cost. Or previously in the video I showed you that file of ARION SHAN. Even that one, go in and look at that one, and you see every single cost of every single upgrade, how many tokens, how much silver, and all that. You know, and if you consider that, you know, to do this, just this one on a character, you know, it's gonna take me more than 3,000 green ones. So when you do the daily offer, you know, offer me 500, 200, something like this, not 25, 50, 100, you know. Okay, it is okay even to do that, because maybe with the resources that a player has, cannot really buy so much at the same time. But there should be even like much bigger offers, where instead, if you have a little resources, and for example you want to do this one that takes 1,000 tokens, maybe the next day you have a daily offer of 500, so you at least partially you have solved the half of the problem. And this is what is concerned about free resources and daily offers. Okay, now the tricky part starts, because when it comes to upgrade, now we have to consider the preset bonuses given depending on how many characters of each faction we use. So for example, here it's all of one faction and I get the maximum of the bonus. Here I have two factions, the Imperial and the Bastion, and I do get to these values. If for some reason I even want to have two hermits, then these are the bonuses that I'm going to get. Now you understand that these differences do lead to something else. First of all, depending on which preset setup you use, it may change the choice of the character and its weapons. Okay? Depending on the bonuses, this may change the choice of the modules. And at the same time, I may push the upgrade up to a certain limit and leave the rest for whenever I'm going to have the resources, because with the preset bonuses plus the modules, I'm going to obtain a nice balance anyway, in a nice result. Now let's take for example this guy here, and the character is a level 16 the weapons at level 18. These are levels that are not so difficult to achieve, because you see, no, this one not, but these are numbers that they're not too difficult to get. Okay, but from level 16 things are going to start to be, especially for the purple one, are going to be a little bit slow. Okay, the weapons require less. Okay, so you see, one level up, the same cost, but it's one level up. But things do start to get slow. Okay, at that point you have to think carefully of what kind of modules you are going to use, because that's going to make a big difference in what you spend. Okay, for example, I have this one left. This one, as you see, is a 10% more jump. Maybe not. Or whenever I will have resources that will let me do that without affecting other upgrades that I may consider more important. Okay, this one is less token, less money, but this is 30% less in reload speed. So this one is more important than this one. So I may choose to get this one done before I think about this one, not really the one of the character. This one instead, it does cost 50, 50, and even this one is going to be 50. But they're not really giving me much, right? This one is going to give me the 5% to any weapon I'm going to use. Okay, the last one is going to give me impact damage, which for the creeper is quite important. Here, a little bit less shot interval, and here just a little bit of more, like 5. This is what, 5% extra amnos, which being 15,000 silver is not much, but it's 1,000 tokens. So okay, and then consider, for example, in this situation I can count on the 12% more in damage, and because it's a preset with all herms, I have another 20. So I have a 20, 32, and when I get to do this upgrade, 37. I'm going to have the 37% extra damage. So at this point, to gain what? Barely at 2%, and this one is you're not even going to notice the difference. But I should spend 150 purple one and 1010 silver. 2, and the vast speed has a bit more shot and a little less reload time, which means that is going to be 5 seconds. That's kind of a decrease, but between the three, we're talking about, between the three, we're talking about 450 purples and 330,000 silver. Okay? To get the tier 3, I have to spend 15. Oh, let's do it. Okay, let's do the fusion. If I do 5,000, okay, and 5 is 10, and 5 is 15. Okay. Now I have this one, and is 35. Okay, so with 70,000 I got the 12% extra damage, while here I'll have to spend 330 for the 3 weapons, and most of all, I will have to spend 450 of the purple one. It will take me ages to collect. Okay, so nowadays you have to pay a lot of attention about this preset modules and stuff, and balance everything, and of course everything has to go with your play style. Okay, each one of us has a certain play style. Choose carefully your character, your weapons. Now that we can choose from any hangar, it's even easier to build a hangar where every single robot does match your play style, and that will give you a certain result here in the bonuses. And then of course the modules. Okay, this is going to be quite a critical part of your building up your presets and how you manage your resources. So if you ask me, the new economy by itself, as the system of the free resources, the operation, the quest, the crates and everything, the leaders board and all that part, it's okay. It can work very well with the numbers that gives you nowadays in resources. Building up a preset, let's forget about having 3. Let's say you have only 1 and you work on 1. Even this way is not going to be a short run. Okay, make sure you give it a go to the links that I gave you in the description. Those guys are quite okay. They have big knowledge about the game, so these are the right people to ask something to. And with this kind of structure in the games nowadays, good videos are going to start to be needed. So, you know, look the video of whoever you want. There are quite a few that are making good videos nowadays. Look for the videos that do explain you things more than just show you gameplay with no commentary even. Now try to find 1, 2, 3 content creators that do explain you things, how they work, what you can do, what you cannot do, what is better to do, or whatever the case may be, because they will help you a lot with what's happening now. And I don't expect big revolutions from now on. For example, they could introduce the fact that when you go in battle, you either can pick the preset or you could pick the battle mode, you know, stuff like that. New characters, new weapons, new maps. But how the game is organized, I would think that will stay for a long time. Okay, so for now, this is it, and as usual, ciao.